Hey, what's up guys, another video here. So today I want to go over an investing topic. This is for the company Tesla. And two disclaimers, this is not financial advice. This is simply my financial opinion. If you do seek financial advice, please seek a professional. And second of all, I do own shares of Tesla and I am very long on the position. So the first point I want to come across is you are buying into visionary leadership, which is Elon Musk. So obviously you guys know his story, very intelligent guy. And he does have a very grand vision. He's a serial entrepreneur and he does sway the market with whatever he says, either via Twitter or however else he does it. But very, very intelligent guy, has a really grand vision for the future, and you have to trust his leadership. So if you don't trust his leadership, do not buy into the company. But again, he is a very resilient, very intelligent, very resourceful. And again, he's just overall, he thinks on a higher plane than most other CEOs and leaders of companies. So you are really buying into his future vision of how the world is going to be. So naturally, he predicts that we're going to get off fossil fuel and go into battery technology primarily and electric vehicles, things like that. But again, he does the whole gamut of products. So I'll get into that later, but of course the electric vehicles, the solar roofing, battery and energy and things like that. So again, he has his hands in a lot of pots. And the only caveat that I want to state here is I hope he takes care of his health. He is working so many hours a week. And again, maybe he's not watching his health. I mean, he's getting a little thick and whatever, but Elon, if you're watching this, which you aren't, but we love you and please take care of your health. And again, that's for the future vision and of course the shareholders of the company. So Elon, please take care of your health, please stay healthy and continue to lead Tesla and SpaceX into new frontiers. So second is you are not buying based on their income statement, although net income is improving. So I'll put a screenshot here, but basically if you look at the past years, they are running at a negative net income. So obviously you're investing into the future prospects of the company. The TTM, the trailing 12 months, it is positive, so that is a good sign. And year over year, they are improving from that aspect, but you're not gonna be buying this on traditional metrics. So just a FYI, again, don't buy something or don't buy a company like this based on traditional metrics, especially because their net income has been negative in the past few years, but it is improving. So that is a good selling point for trying to buy Tesla. So number three is Tesla has a variety of products and a high brand loyalty, which includes vehicles, batteries, solar panel roofs, and energy. This also affords them brand recognition and exposure to the general investing public. So it's really nice that Tesla has a lot of brand recognition. So if you are in a metropolitan area, a populated area, you'll see a lot of Teslas around. And I think the big play here is for energy because Elon Musk tries to envision possibly a smart city. So with battery technology, so he may feed that energy, the excess energy that's not used by the home back into the grid and possibly sell this said energy. So I think that's gonna be a major play in the future, but for now, it's the electric vehicles, the batteries, and finally the solar roofing. I'm not sure how popular the solar roofing is, but possibly it may be a major player down the road, but again, it is an expense and he claims that it's not so much as expensive as a regular roof replacement, so we'll see. But it does seem like the technology is pretty relevant and it'll save you some money in the long run. But who knows how much traction that's going to gain in the future, but we'll see. So number four is the stock split will occur on August 31st, 2020, but you need to be a stockholder of record as of August 21st to receive the split. This will allow for partial retail investor FOMO, which is the fear of missing out, to again increase the absolute price of the stock after the split. The current market cap is around 250 billion. That may grow to 1 to 1.5 trillion using current market cap benchmarks such as Amazon and Microsoft. So this is a major selling point to buy the stock now before August 21st, the date of record for holding the shares. So what's going to happen is the market cap of the company, it won't change at all. So it'll retain, for example, let's say it's hovering around 250 billion, but it's going to increase the number of shares available, obviously by 5, but it's going to reduce the price by a multiple of 5. So let's say the stock is 1500, it's not 1500, it's getting north of 1600 now, it's getting a little expensive, but just divide that price by 5 on August 31st and you're gonna have your X number of shares. So let's say it is 1500 and it goes to 300, which is 1500 divided by 5, then retail investors specifically will be more inclined because retail investors aren't sure or they can't conceptualize the concept of fractional shares, which are now available at some brokers or some brokerage houses, but the retail investor is not going to be able to conceptualize getting fractional shares as of now, assuming they can't afford a full share, which is quite expensive now. So I think retail investors, possibly institutional investors, will get in when the split happens and they'll deem the share price more affordable, even though the market cap has not changed at all. So keep that in mind. Possible retail investor FOMO after the split occurs, and that's gonna potentially artificially increase the price. So the market cap may go from 250, 500, 750, $1 trillion. So it is quite possible. And I'm referencing 250 billion, 500 billion, 750 billion, you get the picture. But also the reason I mentioned the benchmarks is because Tesla is primarily a tech company. So if it does become one of the large players, we can just use today's benchmark, 1 to 1.5 trillion. If it does get to that point where the valuation is justified by the type of revenue and profit that they bring in, but who knows what's going to happen in the future. And we don't know 10 to 20 years from now if the stock valuations of these tech companies will go to 5 trillion, who knows? So again, I'm not saying Tesla is a 10 times multi-bagger, but again, I'm just using this benchmark with Amazon, Microsoft. It may go to 1 trillion or north of 1 trillion. So we'll see what happens. But again, it is a possibility, assuming Tesla keeps gaining traction and keeps selling products, increasing revenue, decreasing costs, things like that. So just basic metrics with how you value a company. So we'll see with that. Number 5 is Tesla has to address the usage of lithium as it is in relative short supply. Many companies are trying to source lithium, so a new abundant energy efficient material has to be sourced to meet the coming demand for batteries. However, Tesla looks to possibly have economies of scale producing these specialized batteries so that they have an advantage from that perspective. So my main concern with battery technology is the reliance on lithium, and lots of lithium now is being produced and sourced from Bolivia. And we're not sure of how much lithium is available, but my guess is that because lithium is so widely used, there may be a shortage and the cost of lithium may skyrocket in the future. So hopefully Tesla's working on some kind of a new battery technology where it's not so reliant on lithium. But we'll see. Again, I'm not so versed in the properties of lithium, but maybe lithium is so unique that it has to be used for batteries. But let's see what happens in the future. And if they are sourcing another type of material or another type of technology where they don't have to heavily rely on lithium. But my prediction is because batteries are going to be so prevalent in the future that the price of lithium is going to go up, and obviously the supply is going to go down because it is a finite supply and it's only located in certain areas of the world such as Bolivia. So hopefully Tesla's working on that, but I do see that as a point of concern. So even if the cars in the future aren't reliant on fossil fuels, they're going to be reliant on something, right? So they're going to be reliant on batteries, which are reliant on lithium. So let's see what they do, but that is a major point of concern for me for the future. So number 6 is Tesla's Battery Days on September 22nd, 2020, where Musk may reveal some revolutionary new battery technology that may be a catalyst for the stock price. So this is also another date that you want to keep in mind. So after August 31st, where the 5-to-1 stock split happens, you're going to have this battery day. So he may again have some kind of revolutionary battery product, which is very appealing to consumers and also big type of institutional investors. So we'll see what happens. Again, maybe he has some kind of new battery technology where the battery is compacted or it's not reliant on certain materials, possibly lithium. I don't predict that that soon, the coming off the reliance on lithium, but maybe he does have some kind of spin on the product and it becomes more palatable for example, retail consumers, and let's see what happens. Maybe the pricing of the battery is going to be less expensive, something like that. So I believe he's going to introduce a myriad of factors where it's going to make the battery technology more appealing and more advanced. So let's see what happens, but I do predict a slight uptick in the stock price if he does deliver really exceptional news on September 22nd, which is Tesla's battery day. So September 22nd, 2020, look out for that date and let's see how that affects the valuation of the company. Lastly, Tesla is aggressively looking to expand production with Gigafactories gigafactories around the world that include the US, China, and Germany. So currently there are 5 gigafactories that are currently being built. Again, they're all in the process of being built. So there are 3 in the United States, and there is 1 in China and 1 in Germany. So obviously, Tesla and Musk, they are financing it with a lot of debt. So let's see what happens. But ultimately, it should pay off if Tesla's long-term vision works and their customers are happy and they continually buy their products. So let's see what happens. But Musk does have very grand visions of Tesla. I'm not sure how Tesla's gonna fit into the future as far as being the predominant car maker. I doubt that's gonna happen because we still have so much reliance on fossil fuel. So let's see what happens. But again, as long as the world is heavily reliant on petroleum, I don't envision Tesla as the main manufacturer. It's going to be really hard for Tesla to go over the hump and take over Toyota, GM, things like Ford for dominant market share of the car market, but we'll see. They will have to produce cars something cheaper than the Model 3. That's my prediction. But up and coming economies, India and China and so forth, I'm not sure how reliant they are going to be on fossil fuel vehicles, but China is aggressively expanding on the electric vehicle market. So they may be producing cheaper alternatives than what is available in the Tesla Model 3. But currently Tesla is viewed as a premium product, so they may have to go into something cheaper than Model 3 to access the public that cannot afford these type of items. So basically those are my 7 points. Obviously I'm long Tesla, and do I suggest buying it now? Maybe. Again, that's not financial advice, but I do think it is a good play personally for myself. Again, not financial advice, but once the stock split happens, battery day happens, and as the company progresses, it could be a very good buy. And if you do believe in the vision of Elon Musk, then it's definitely a buy for you. But again, not financial advice, just a financial opinion from someone who is a multimillionaire. So if you are interested in my book, please check out the link below. It explains how I at 35 became a multimillionaire by only having a salary income of 40K to 81.5K from the ages of 22 to 35. It goes over expenses, income, and more importantly, investing. So that's it, guys, and stay tuned for the next video.